Hi guys, it's Chris from Defy the Ocean. It's been a while since my last reaction video, and I think I'm probably going to end up doing them a little less frequently, maybe one a week or one every couple of weeks, just because I want to choose what I react to quite carefully. I've always been a big fan of the pure reaction, my initial reaction where I've never heard something before, and I kind of give myself a bit of a challenge, essentially, on trying to say something meaningful about what it is that we're listening to together. And I hope that I do that, and I hope I do that for you. But in doing so, I found that I've listened to a hell of a lot of music over the years, and what a lot of other reaction channels are busy kind of reacting to are things that I've heard a lot and I'm quite familiar with, and I really have no interest in kind of retreading that ground. Although I may be doing some kind of retrospective stuff in the future where I kind of listen to some of my favorite tracks and I talk about them and explain why something is good from my perspective. That's one thing that I'll be doing. Of course, I will be continuing with the album reviews with my partner in crime, who's also, you can come and chat to him and me on the Discord channel, which we've got set up. I'll put the link below for you guys to check that out. But yeah, we do that, and we've done that for a few albums, and we're going to be doing some more. Every month or so, we'll do a full listen and deep dive into an album. It's really exciting. But we're here to talk about Gojira today. And I've been a big fan of theirs for a long time, since from Mars to Sirius, actually. And I think that remains one of my favorite albums, probably ever, but also one of my favorites from them. The Way of All Flesh also holds a special place in my heart. I think those two albums came out in a period where I was really kind of discovering metal, not discovering metal, but their sound was just so fresh to me at the time. It really just scratched an itch that I didn't know I had, right? And yeah, since then I found that they have somewhat neutered their style a bit. So I'm very interested to hear what this is going to bring to the table. I listened and reacted to Another World, which came out last year. And, you know, maybe I'm picking a little bit, but it wasn't quite top level Gojira material for me. It was good. I listened to it many times. I've enjoyed it. I thought it had a great middle section. But it wasn't quite top level for me. And I'm just wondering whether or not this new track, Born for One Thing, is going to deliver on that. So they've announced their new album. They have put out a track listing. The interlude, I believe, has already leaked from this album. I don't know if that was an intentional thing that they've done or it just came out by accident. But one thing is for sure. I am looking forward to this. Let's bring it up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Comment if you disagree with me, and join the Discord link below. And let's get on with this. Let's see what's going on. Look, Mr. Frodo. An elephant. There's always a lot of nature and eco themes in their music. Of course, they're long-time supporters of Sea Shepherd, who were... Oh, shut up now. Seems like 4/4, but there's a bit of playing around with the backbeat. nice. Pretty orthodox so far. Really enjoying the bass line playing in the background, nice and kind of cyclical, and while those kind of guitars wail on top, that's really nice. Not super impressed if this is the chorus, not kind of fully sold on it, like melodically or in terms of exactly what's going on. I want to see how the song develops. It's an almost 6-minute song, so we've got room for this to develop. Been pretty straightforward 4/4, I think, so far. And from a production perspective, very good, but missing some of that grit and some of the aggression that I feel really needs to go hand in hand with the kind of the guitar work that we hear, you know? I don't know if I'm being a bit fussy, a bit picky at this stage, but let's carry on. I'll turn it up, that'll fix it. Oh, yes. Nice. Oh, I like the pitch shifted vocals there as well. That little section, dum 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 dum. That is just, it's too Gojira at this point. I think we're getting to the point where they're however many albums in. How many albums have they done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this going to be the 7th album? 7th or 8th? Yes, they have a sound. Yes, they have a unique sound. But it feels to me like that unique sound maybe has stopped developing. They've kind of, I wouldn't say used the word regressed, that's the bad word, but what I would say is that some of their more progressive and heavy tendencies have been reduced in order to make the songs more palatable, to make the songs, to give the songs more of a mainstream appeal. And that's kind of to be expected as bands get bigger. They just tend to do that. I don't know why. And Gojira really are kind of one of the top metal bands around right now. And maybe it's my fault for kind of longing for days gone past when they would be, you know, pulling out bars of 11/16 or something. But I always felt that they did it in a very cool way. And thinking about like songs of theirs like Toxic Garbage Island, which open out on this really off-kilter riff and things like that, things that throw you, you know, things that inject a bit of surprise into the proceedings. That's why with this kind of section that just passed, I was like, ooh, I'm being thrown around. I'm being given something that I'm not expecting. I'm having to digest it, and it's giving me a really cool feel, even though from what I understand it was still in 4/4. It wasn't in any weird time signature. It was kind of the way that the beat was placed was, you know, throwing me around a bit and giving me something to think about. But yeah, this riff that we're hearing now in particular is just a bit lazy. It feels a bit lazy. The only thing that rescues it is the bass line, while these guitars wail on top. now we've heard this chorus, "We were born for one thing," over and over again. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the melody of it. There's almost a kind of jammy feel to it. It's almost like the way they've shot the video. It's just like they're facing each other. There's a communal spirit to it. It's not like we're watching them on a stage and they're playing at us. We are in their inner circle. We're kind of seeing them from the inside. It's quite nice. I like it. Slightly more toned down version of that riff earlier. Nice. Or some really nice discordant, I don't know, I mean, what instrument that is. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit, because now that we're staring at the end of this, well, to about a minute and a half from the end of this 6-minute track, I'm getting the feeling that this track is almost Gojira's answer to the critics who say that they've lost their progressive edge, because at least from a song structure perspective, it's reasonably complex. There is an element of unexpectedness. There are transitionary sections going on that, yeah, I mean, there's just generally a lot of riffing going on, rather than you're just kind of verse riff, chorus riff, verse riff, chorus riff, you know? So I feel like it's all, they're making a statement and saying this is almost an answer to some of their more simplified work. But I've said it already. I think the actual content of the riffs, for the most part, feels a little oversimplistic compared to some of their previous efforts. I think I will need to listen to this again to be 100% sure how I feel about this, whether I feel it's all coming together. I think it may just come down to that kind of bridge riff that goes into the chorus bass line. I feel that is just almost just a caricature of a Gojira riff in some ways. Let's carry on listening and see where we're going this last minute and a half. Okay, so it seems like close to the last minute is just credits. So I'm going to have to take some of what I said back. I feel like I don't know how I feel. I think I enjoyed it, but I have no burning desire to listen to it again. My overall feeling is one of slight disappointment. I'm perhaps not as disappointed as I was with some of their previous efforts, but I think that they're kind of doing... There's hints to their older style, certainly, a little more. And it feels to me like they're very much leaning into some of these kind of almost Gojira tropes that they've become at this stage, which is a lot of use of natural harmonics on the guitar, for example. So that outro section was kind of overlaid with these guitar harmonics, like more than I've possibly ever heard them use before. And there was the bridge riff that I mentioned that seemed quite very, very Gojira, to the point where it would be like, oh, I'm going to pretend to be Gojira. I'm going to write Gojira's next song. That's the kind of riff that you might come up with. Yeah, I'm going to give this. I'm going to rate this. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10, bordering on a 7. I'd say a strong 6. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this one right now. Be interesting to see how it sits in an album, whether it kind of is one of the more lengthy or progressive tracks, and we're going to see some more simple stuff in the other tracks. I don't know yet. Very keen to find out. I think Another World would probably err on the slightly simpler side, and this on the slightly more progressive side. So I have a feeling that we're going to err a bit more on the simpler side, on the more straightforward song structure side of things for the rest of the album. But it's all guesswork. As usual, thank you for stopping by and checking out my reaction. And also, as usual, you know that I am as honest as I can be. These are my first reactions, and it makes it very difficult for me to say nice things when I don't mean them. But overall, I would recommend this track, and that someone hear it and at least make their own mind up. I think it's a very solid track, but I don't think it's an exceptional track. And I'm hoping for some exceptional songs from the album when it does indeed come out. That's all for this reaction video. Please come and check me out on Twitch every Friday with New Music Friday. We'll be listening to this track again with everyone in the community, and we'll be rating it and ranking it, and you'll be able to disagree with my thoughts vehemently if need be, and side with some others who I'm sure enjoy it more than I do. But you may also find that there may be others who have not enjoyed it as much. That's the way it works. And I will leave a link below for our Discord channel, where I believe there's already been some conversations about this track, but I've kind of kept my eyes closed because I wanted to go in completely blind. And I was like, please, I don't want to see what you're saying about it. So now I can re-enter that conversation and actually say something worth chatting about. So that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll leave all the links below, and yeah. I'll see you soon, okay? Take it easy.